Chapter 16. Days passed, and Ken and Tess had grown even closer. They were going out now, and their relationship was still very new. Tess adored Ken. She looked up to him, and as usual, was always happy, always smiling. Her joy was contagious, and she made Ken smile with her, without even meaning to. He had settled in his job now, and Ken was happy. After every shift he had with Tess, he would walk her home, or they would visit the town together. "I love you, Ken," she beamed, hanging off his arm and leaning into him. "I love you so much." The evening was growing late, and Mustang sat at the bar alone, staring into his drink. He had ordered several that night, and kept to himself, depressed and scared that he was losing Ken. He didn't know what to do. It was some time later when he was approached by a stranger who put his hand on him. "Hey, how's it going?" Mustang did not answer. He turned his head slowly towards the man, his vision slightly blurred. "You're handsome," the stranger said to him. "How about you and me leave this place and go somewhere quieter?" Mustang raised his head, blinking warily up at the man. Mustang flinched suddenly as the man slipped his hand into the front of his trousers, caressing him, with the other hand pulling Mustang's legs further open so that he could reach him. It was loud in the club and busy all around them. No one noticed the pair as Mustang hunched his body over, head bowed over his drink and suddenly tense. "How about," the man suggested, speaking directly into Mustang's ear so that only he could hear him, "we take this outside?" The stranger withdrew his hand. Mustang did not resist as the man took him by the wrist, leading Mustang out of the bar and into the quiet alley at the back of the building. "It's all right," the stranger said, pushing Mustang back firmly against the wall. "Everything is going to be all right." Mustang tilted his head back as the stranger unzipped his trousers, kneeling before him. A single tear ran down his cheek as he felt the stranger's mouth close around him, beginning to work. Mustang dug his nails into the brick wall behind him, scratching lightly at the surface. When the man had finished with him, he turned him around, bending him forwards over a wall and standing behind him. Mustang did not resist as he felt the man push into him, his skin hot and cheeks flushed. He stayed there and waited as the man had his way, thrusting into him forcefully. After he had finished, the stranger wandered away, simply leaving him there. Mustang sat outside now on the floor of the alley, leaning back against the wall. He gritted his teeth, whimpering, speaking a single word, a name. "Ken." Mustang went home late that night, if it could still be called night. He stumbled into his apartment and collapsed onto the sofa, waking hours later to find Ken in the kitchen cooking. "Oh," Ken said when Mustang groaned and began to shift. "You're awake." Mustang sat up gingerly, hand going to his head. "Oh." "Are you feeling all right?" Ken asked him as he continued to cook. "What time did you come home last night?" "I don't remember," Mustang groaned. "Well, did you have fun?" "I don't remember." Mustang hauled himself off the sofa, rising to his feet and wobbling slightly before righting himself. "Oh." "Are you hungry?" Ken asked him happily. "Eh." "Hey, guess what?" Ken grinned at him. "I've found a place to stay." Mustang tensed at that. "What?" "Here," he said, pulling a page from his pocket and handing it to him. "What do you think?" Mustang took the paper, staring down at it. It was an ad for an apartment nearby. It looked small, but pleasant. It would have been perfect for Ken. For the longest time, he said nothing. "Mustang?" Mustang looked up then, his eyes pleading. "Please don't go," he said, voice trembling as he spoke. "What?" "Please. I'll be lonely without you here." Ken hesitated then. He wasn't sure what to say. "But," Ken began at last, "what about your family?" "I told you already," Mustang snapped at him, suddenly angry. "They don't come here. Don't ask about them again." Ken stared back at Mustang in shock. He gasped suddenly, seeing the clock on the wall behind him. "Is that the time?" he said. "I have to go to work now." He ran to the door, pausing then and glancing back at Mustang. "I'll eat when I get back," he said. "There's enough for both of us. Help yourself," he said before snapping the door shut. In the end, Ken's relationship with Tess didn't work out. But things didn't really change. Tess was her usual bubbly self, and she was still close to Ken. They would talk together, laugh and touch. She would lean on him, hug his arm, giggle at him and make him smile. but she kept a distance she had not done before, and for that he was grateful. "Are you okay, Ken?" Tess said to him. "You're daydreaming." Ken snapped back to attention. "What? Oh, I'm sorry." "It's okay," she giggled at him. "Anyway, you're supposed to have finished now. Hurry up and go home." "All right, sorry." "See you next time," she sang happily to him as he took off his apron, hanging it up. "What happened to your lady friend?" Ken suppressed a groan. He turned reluctantly to Mustang, who had seemingly been waiting for him. He hadn't expected to be interrogated the instant he came home. "What do you mean?" Mustang pushed himself off the wall, unfolding his arms and striding up to Ken. "You know," he said to him, "you used to go on dates with her. I thought the two of you would get together. What happened?" "She's nice," Ken grumbled, turning away and frowning. "But she's not right for me." "Why?" "Because I like someone else." "Who?" Ken froze suddenly, catching himself. He fumbled then, avoiding Mustang's eyes then, shoulders hunched. It's none of your business." "Oh my God." Ken glanced reluctantly towards Mustang again, meeting his gaze. "Oh my God," Mustang said again. Ken groaned, gritting his teeth. "What?" he snapped, irritant. "Oh my God," Mustang said for the third time, taking a step closer to him. "What?" Ken snapped angrily now. "It's me, isn't it? Isn't it?" "It is," Mustang said triumphantly at Ken's reaction. "Yes, I knew you would come around." "It's not like that." Ken flinched as Mustang leaned over him, hand resting on the wall behind him, their faces inches apart. "It's okay," Mustang spoke seductively, running a finger along Ken's jawline as he spoke. "I know now how you really feel about me. There's no going back. I will make you mine. You will come over to my side. I'll make it so." "Yeah, right," Ken snapped, glaring furiously back at Mustang, cheeks flushed. "In your dreams, I could never be with another man." "I will make you mine," Mustang said to him, moving away and turning, gliding away down the corridor with a backwards glance. He flashed him a grin before disappearing into the next room. Ken heard him chuckle quietly to himself as he went. It was immediately after that that the teasing and harassment began.